With your background in journalism, what did you think about meeting a fellow journalist like that?
I don't know. I mean, it was, in some ways, I mean, he was really a tabloid journalist. So, I don't know. Actually, no, that's not, I mean, I guess he claimed to have done some investigative journalism. He believed he was an investigative journalist. And I guess, just like I said before, it was just really intriguing to hear him, and kind of fascinating to hear him using these terms and these phrases that we would use, such as integrity and responsibility, and I think there's one point, I've forgotten the exact phrase, but he talks about something trumping something else for the public good. So I guess, the right to privacy being like trumping the right to privacy in order to kind of inform the public of what's going on. And that's in the context of why he thinks it's okay to start raiding people's houses. So it was just remarkable. I think that was the most interesting thing, was that he really had the kind of vocabulary and the concepts of good journalism down, but he was talking about it in the context of kind of doing everything he could to get rid of the LGBT community. And the other intriguing thing was that the Rolling Stone existed for about 2 years, maybe. And so it started up about the same, just after we started working on the film. And there was always a bit of suspicion about it because it didn't have any ads in it. It seemed to publish op-eds by the same one or two ardently anti-gay pastors. So there was a general thought that it was actually funded by some of these anti-gay pastors, and they were actually using it as a vehicle to get their message out there, maybe because they were fed up, or because they didn't think the other tabloids were doing a good enough job. And that's kind of, David kind of mentions that during the court scene in the film, where you see David and a couple of other activists taking Giles, the managing editor in the newspaper, to court for violating their constitutional right to privacy. And he says at one point, look, these anti-gay pastors have come to this court case, so I think that shows that they're the ones backing this newspaper. So it was also an interesting topic to explore, just because, the concept of using media, and especially newspapers, as a vehicle for a political ideology or a message has been around forever, and it was kind of interesting to see that play out. And the newspaper no longer exists. It kind of folded pretty soon after the court case. So I think all of that seems to point to the fact that it was actually more of a vehicle, or like a loudspeaker for these anti-gay pastors than anything else. Giles claimed it wasn't, but I think it probably was.